can hear me, everything is working well. I know there were a few things happening with Twitch, but apparently, knock on wood, things are working and we're good to go. So let me share my screen and let's get started. I only have 2 links today, so if anyone wants me to look at anything, feel free. I also need to let the world know that we're going live because I've just forgotten. So in the meantime, if anyone has anything that they want me to look at, feel free to send a link here. You can also send it on Discord, but I probably won't be checking that as much. So if you can send it over here, that'd be great. And let's get started. I already took a look at this earlier. I think overall this is working really well. We do have one tiny note and that's it. But let me just look at it more just to make sure that I didn't miss anything. So I think the only thing that I would tweak on this, and we can call it done, and you can start on the new shots that you told me that you were gonna start doing, is right now the way that he looks to the swimming pool feels a little bit even. So maybe what I would do is already, like for example, this angle that you have on this frame on 105, I would get to that earlier. Also because it helps with the line of action of the pose. And then I would maybe, how many frames does it take right now? It takes like 6 frames to get to this. I would maybe do it a little bit faster. So already here, he's gonna have that angle. So possibly this one, you can have it a little bit more. And then this one a lot more. Just so that he gets there quicker. So the spacing going up will be something more like this. Just so that it's a little bit snappier, and you can also overshoot a little bit if you want, but like tiny bit. And I think that's going to make it feel a little bit nicer because it's going to feel a little bit snappier. Potentially, yeah, because everything is happening so fast that I don't think you have enough time to do it slowly. That's why I would do it a little bit snappier. But yeah, other than that, it's looking great. Do you have any questions about this? Anything that you were struggling or wanted to ask or anything? Cool. Awesome. And let me check. I'm not sure. Jacob, are you here? Because I don't see your username, but it could be that it's not refreshing. Just let me know, because I know that you wanted to talk about the reference and something that you were struggling with this. But if not, I'm going to read what he sent on Discord just to make sure I have everything. So basically, his note is, I've been struggling with how to approach the last shot in my sequence, and I was wondering if you had any tips on how to tackle it, specifically with the interaction, especially the hand and shoulder connection. I moved it back to blogging. Okay, so that's with this one. Okay, I thought it was a new one. No problem then. So, hey, EU, how's it going? So I'm gonna just message Jacob on the side just to let him know that I'm gonna look at his shot now. And if again anyone has anything that they want me to look at, feel free to send a Sync Sketch link. If you're in AM, please don't send me campus links because I'm not sure we can open them. Like physically we can, but legally I don't know if we can. So let's play this and see what's happening with the last shot.
You are.
And let me turn the volume.
You are. You are.
I'm not sure what it, like you said that you were struggling. Um, so struggle like
You are.
I don't know
You
exactly
are.
what it is that you're struggling, if it's the interaction of the
You
hand
are.
on the shoulder only. Yeah, you said the hand and shoulder
You
connection.
are.
I don't know how you did it. I would basically just use a simple constraint with an offset. I mean, I don't know if this rig on this um, IK hand has also an offset control that you can use, or sometimes it's called gimbal control. But
You are.
what I would do is just get a simple constraint. And if you feel like you constrained it to the shoulder on Aya, and it's every time you need to adjust it because it's not working necessarily one to one, but she doesn't seem to be moving her shoulder that much. But if not, potentially you could um, constrain it to the shoulder and to this control, like whatever you use for the upper chest control, and give this, I don't know, like 80% and this one 20%. When you constrain something on the, oh my god, on the channel box, haha, if you scroll down, you can see the influences of each constraint. And actually, I'm gonna open Maya, and I can just show it. So while Maya opens, so potentially you could play with that if you think that you are gonna have to adjust too much. But whoops, nope. But I think that if you don't move, my god, Maya, if you don't move um, her shoulder too much, just constraining to her shoulder should be okay. And Maya keeps wanting to show itself. Um, yeah, because I feel like maybe the hardest thing to connect would be the head, because of where it is and how, like, if this character moves, the head would move a lot more. Um, but while, because Jacob is on his way, so while he's coming, I will show how to do the constraints with percentages, just so that if anyone is interested, you can use it. I'm just going to import a rig because I'm too lazy and I don't want to have to save this. And I'm going to use Ulan. There we go. There we go. This rig is super cute, and if anyone is interested in using it, I would highly recommend it because it's the cutest and it works really, really well. And I need to fix the textures, but I'm too lazy right now. So let's say I have, let's bring in another rig just so that we can do this type of, same type of shot. Because also I'm trying to see if there's anything in particular that would make it complicated, but I think you might be overthinking it. What did I touched something that I shouldn't have, apparently. There we go. So let's say I want this rig to be touching the other rig's shoulder. And I'm not sure how to, there we go. We're switching. And does this rig have an extra controller? I'm not sure because I've only been using it mostly for the face, and the face was super uh, nice. This might probably has another controller, but I don't know where it is. So when if you don't have an extra controller, you can just create you can create like a locator hierarchy. I sometimes use locators just for doing some constraints. Sorry if you hear noises, there's a helicopter going by. And first I'm going to place the locator where the hand is so that I have it exactly where I need it. And to easily place a locator anywhere that you want it, you can do a constraint parent without maintain offset, and that will put the locator where I need it, and then I can delete the constraint and the locator is where I need it. So then I will make, this will be basically my wrist controller, and this will be the wrist control offset. So the offset will um, control the wrist without maintain offset. I mean, I could put it as the same, but I prefer not to. And what we're going to constrain um, to the shoulder will be the wrist controller. So basically now the wrist controller moves the wrist and the wrist offset also moves the wrist. The reason why I'm doing this is because if I constrain directly the wrist to the shoulder, I can't move the wrist anymore, because once you constrain something, it's like it's glued. It's super glued and you can't move it anymore. So I have this offset, it creates a space where there's something glued, but this is like, it's as if we're putting our controller inside a box and I'm moving the box, but the objects inside the box can move on their own. So here, now, I'm going to have the clavicle control the wrist and just do a constraint parent. So now if I do this, perfect, it moves. But let's say I also want the chest to control the wrist. I can do another constraint. And now this is kind of halfway there. So if I move this, wait, something went wrong here. I'm going to key this so that I have the, there we go. Everything is turned on. Is this, or is it this one? I kind of like using FK, so I'm going to use the FK control. And I'm going to constrain parent. I don't know why that's rotating. It shouldn't be rotating, but whatever. We can fix it. So now this moves it, and this moves it. There's something breaking here, but it could be just that it doesn't like the rig interaction. So I'm not going to bother too much because I know that the AM rigs will probably handle this. And it's probably an issue of having the same rig here. But how do I change what is controlling this uh, this controller here? I can do it here because blend parent, I can basically turn it on and off, and that's okay. But if the blend parent is on, I can change here the percentages. So for example, I want the clavicle, like I said, I don't know, to control 80% of this. I go and put 0.8, and then on the other one, 0.2. And now the clavicle will control most of the movement, and the wrist, sorry, and the chest will control the rest. The thing here is the chest is always going to control all of the movement because of where the like the clavicle is moved by the chest, But the thing that's going to change is when I move the clavicle, basically. That's going to have more control. That's something that you could potentially try, especially if you're doing some weird movements with the body. But like I did it, for example, on Spirit. I had a shot where Lucky was touching the horse, so I put one of my constraints was, and I didn't have, basically I wanted her to kind of touch on his, let's call it, shoulder, but there was no control exactly where I needed it, so I put a constraint on the chest and a constraint on the neck, and then I put it like 25% and 75% so that it would be a little bit of each. In this case, I'm not sure what's happening that's not
You are.
working for you, but I would just do a simple constraint. I wouldn't do this that I showed you was just as an example of things that you can do, but I'm not sure. So when you come, we'll talk about it more. In the meantime, does anyone have anything that they want me to look at? Um, and if not, I can show you guys something. I can do a demo if you want. I'm trying to think if there were any quick demos that I could do that we've mentioned before. Oh, cool. Um, cool. Sorry, I missed the link. Awesome. Cool, cool, cool. So, this is your pantomime idea. I'm not going to read out loud. I hate reading out loud. I only did it for Jacob's message, and that's it. Cool. So I think this is a good idea. I think you might be overly complicating it a little bit. Like this puts the box on the floor and starts enjoying a slice of pizza. Like you're adding a little bit too many body mechanics that you don't necessarily need. It could just be that he gets into the elevator, he presses the button, like he's standing up, he opens the box, grabs a slice, and he doesn't even need to eat it completely. Like he could be like almost going to eat it because again, all of this is going to add more to your animation. So it depends on how much time you have and how much you want to put into this. It's just I'm just letting you know that like this I wouldn't do. This is depends on how much time you have to do this. But yeah, if you want to do the eating, you can. But if you don't want, he could just be like caught middle of the like middle action, could be like, and he looks at the camera suddenly and is like, ah, and puts it back and closes it, very like I didn't do anything. That could be um one of the options as well. Again, it just depends on how much time you have. I think the idea is good. What I would think about also, because right now you're thinking a lot about the actions, but you're not really thinking so much about the character. So, what I would like for you to, I think like the idea works. It's more like try to think a little bit more in depth about who is this character, how old are they, where they're coming from. We guess that they've just they just come from the pizza place, but are they late? Are they on time? What kind of pizza delivery is this? Is he someone who is always super good at his job and this time he was like, oh, I'm fed up with this, like whatever, because he had a horrible day at work? Again, it's not that we necessarily need to know all of this information, but if you know it yourself, it's going to inform your acting choices. Because again, it's not the same of, let's say this guy sucks at his job and he always eats the client's pizza because he hates everything. He hates his job. He doesn't care. He's been there for 15 years and all he wants to do is actually be a figure skater. I don't know. He's fed up. So the way that he's going to open it, he's like, ugh, whatever. I'm just going to open it. I'm going to eat it because this is something that he does every day. Whereas, what if he's like just really hungry because he is a student and didn't have time to eat? So he's like, whatever, like nobody's going to notice him. And he's like, maybe I can just steal a slice. The acting choices are going to be different depending on the character. Is it an old person? Is it a young person? Is it what gender are they? Like all of that can inform of for like your acting choices. Um, Also, again, like when we think about it, we also think like, what's the goal of the shot? What's the goal of the character? Is the goal of the character to eat because he's hungry, or to deliver the pizza? And he just like in the middle, he was like, I don't care. Or does he want to get fired, and that's why he did it on purpose? All of that, I would think of it. Again, you don't necessarily need to show it to me. It's more for you so that you have a bit of a more in-depth look at the character. But yeah, I would definitely start shooting reference. I would recommend not doing camera cuts. Just have this as a one camera. It could be already inside of the lift, and you just get him while he's getting inside. You don't need to uh, do camera cuts or a lot of crazy things or even camera movements. Keep it as simple as possible so that you focus on the acting. Yeah. And yeah, like for example, whoops. Um like when like enters the lift, it could be just, again, we just see it from already inside the lift. We don't necessarily need see him outside and then coming in. That's going to simplify things a lot. And like here, I would try to avoid, because this could be turning into a cliche, the typical like if you enter a lift, you already know that there's no one there. So realizing that there's no one there doesn't necessarily have to be the because he already knows there's no one there. So it doesn't, and we already know that there's no one there. So it could be as simple as he just comes in and does whatever he wants without an extra thing of carefully checking. Not that you were going to do that, it's just me telling you because sometimes it happens that people do the typical like, is there anyone here? Is anyone looking at me? Oh my god. So yeah, I would um think about that. Um okay, so Jacob said that he might not be able to make it, so that's okay. So yeah, I hope, did that make sense? Do you have any questions on this? Cool, awesome. Does anyone have any other links or questions or demos that they want me to do? Anything like that? Because if not, in the meantime, I'm gonna see if there's any demos that we have like in the making for the future, just in case there's one that I can do now for you guys, because I have time. It's very early. And if not, if anyone has any questions also about the industry, or I don't know, suggestions on people they want to see on the stream next week, if all goes well, we will have Ere Santos, Catherine Heller, and Madison talking about acting. So it's going to be a really, really interesting stream. Ere is now working on Spider Verse. He's at Sony. He's been everywhere. He's worked at Pixar. He's worked at with us on Spirit. He's worked at DNEG. He's been everywhere. He's been also at Sony before, and he's incredible at acting. Catherine has been at Jellyfish for a long time now. She's at DNEG, and she was basically the queen of acting. Yeah, Era Santos. Um, Catherine was the queen of acting. She was our lucky. Every time that we needed reference, it's like, hey, Catherine, can you do this? So they're gonna be great. And Madison, everyone knows her here because she does the Friday streams. She's always super, super amazing, and everyone begs her to do reference because she understands acting very, very well. So I think most of the demos that we have planned out, I need to think about them a little bit more and prepare them. Potentially, we could talk about how to analyze movie shots if you guys want. Yeah, Era is amazing. He's an incredible animator. Everything he touches is gold, and he's super fast. So when we were at work, like he would have to present a shot, and already his blockings look like most people's polish. And sometimes he would present three blockings, and you're like, how? I'm here doing one, and you already have three blockings that could basically be polished. And he would go to the directors and be like, which one do you like? Like, oh my god, he's way too good. He's way too amazing, and we love him. But yeah, um, does anyone have any demos that they want? I'm trying to think of anything that we could do that doesn't need necessarily a lot of preparation. Because for some, it's better if I think about what we're going to do. Um, Maybe, do you hear it better now? It could be that I pushed my mic away because sometimes I do that and I forget. Let me know if now you hear me a little bit better because the volume on OBS, cool. The volume on OBS is super cranked up. Um, what can we do? Or if not, we can just call it. It's just a very short stream, half an hour, short and sweet. And there's not that many people anyway, so it could be a short one, and I can go play with our new rig that we just got an update, and I can't wait to see how it is. And I would show it here, but we're not ready for it. It's like it's still in progress. So sure, yes. Show me your crazy boards, because like these streams are for you guys. Whatever you guys need, whatever you guys want. So if no one has anything, we'll call it. I'll go make some pasta, and that's it. But if yeah, you have anything, post it here on the chat, and that's cool. I can't remember if I already saw any of your newest ideas. Yeah, sounds good. Sounds more than good. So yeah, after Ares Santos and Catherine Heller in terms of streams, then we have another stream on the what is it, the 23rd with, is it the 23rd? Yes, with Alex Ferreira and Nicolas Burmester. Alex is from Brazil. He worked at Sony. He worked at DreamWorks for a long time. Now he's at Riot. And Nico is from Chile. I can't remember exactly right now which studio he's working on right now, but he's also amazing. And we want to talk a bit of our experiences living in Latin America, getting our first jobs, how we dealt with visas, all of that, so that you guys have different perspectives on how people got into the industry, especially people from Latin America, because I know how hard it is because I am from there. I'm going to see if there's anyone from other countries that can also share their experience. Other countries as not North America and not Europe, because getting a job if you're from North America and Europe, it's like incredibly easy. But the rest of us have it harder. So I want people to see all of those experiences and get an idea of maybe what you need to do or other like paths that you can consider. And then by the end of the year, we have another super special guest, Sean Sexton. We will have him, but we don't know the dates yet. Those are like some of the things that we have planned to keep you guys excited. This Saturday, I'm not sure if we will do a stream. The only one available is me, and I will be pet sitting. So I'm not going to be here at my house. So if my setup allows it, because I will have my computer with me, I will do a stream, and then I can actually prep a demo and actually do something nice. I was thinking maybe I can do the demo of animating from like stylized to cartoony. Uh, Mecha Mech Family Rigs. Let me just, because I think I know which ones they are, but let me just double check if I know which ones they are. Oh, I don't know those. I've never used these rigs. Are they? No, they're not. I don't know. Are they new? Uh, I mean, they look okay. Hi, Vero. Oh, congratulations! That's awesome. Nice. Hey, doesn't matter if it's a week or two, you got your first job. That's fantastic. Congratulations. Nice. I hope you're enjoying it. Um, these Mecha Max rigs, I'm gonna share and see if these ones are the ones that you meant. I've never used them. I don't know if they're good. I personally don't find them very appealing to my uh, I don't feel like I would ever use these rigs for anything other than studying body mechanics. So personally, I got to a point right now where again, it's not that I don't find them appealing overall, but it's like I wouldn't find them appealing for an acting shot, which is what I prefer to do right now. And so um I wouldn't use them for that, but for body mechanics they seem good. Like they seem good for that. I haven't tried them so I don't know if they have everything you need, but oh, they are from this company. Their rigs are usually they work pretty well. So if you want to use them for body mechanics, for sure, you can use them. They do have facial controls, but I don't know. They are not my style of rigs. Oh, I like that you can scale everything. That's really cool. That's cool that they seem very adaptable. Oh, you might not be able to post a link because Dan said that the links were fixed. It was a lie. I think only moderate. Can you post it on Discord? Because let me see if I can fix the links. I thought this was fixed. Mm. If anyone knows where on Twitch I can fix um, links, that would be great because I don't know where the settings are. So I'm gonna try and find them just so that you guys can post links, because if not, that's kind of defeats the purpose. Moderation, maybe. Okay, I think now people should be able to post links. But since you posted it here, let's look at this. Okay. Is it all of this or just this two? Which ones should I look at? Or the last one? I'm gonna look at the last one just because it seems like it might be the newest one. Okay, cool. Okay, then let's look at this.
He's an angel. He's just happy all the time. He's an angel. He's just happy all the time. Morning, afternoon, middle of the night, 2 a.m., 3 a.m., all the a.m.s, really. He's an
Okay. And hang on, this is another idea or is it the same?
I have been trying to put my grandma in a nursing home for years now, and she just won't go. So, I've started gaslighting her.
Okay, hang on. I'm a bit confused about this idea.
He's an angel. He's an angel. He's just happy all the time. Morning, afternoon, middle of the night.
Can you explain a little bit more? Like I kind of understand the idea, but I think that my issue is a little bit with the pacing of the shot. It feels like you're going way too fast into things and then you kind of stop and nothing happens for a very long time. So especially at the beginning, it feels like everything's happening too fast and I don't have time to breathe and understand. So I don't know what
He's an angel.
this is. Like, are they like putting like the halo on top to show that he's an angel? Or are they like putting just a hat on the baby? It's kind of a halo. I mean, let me play this again.
He's an angel. He's just happy all the time.
I'm guessing here he's tugging on the mustache.
Morning, afternoon.
What does this say?
Morning, afternoon.
So what I would do maybe, because I think you have a really fun idea here in terms of the overall idea. I think that could be really fun to play with. But there's a few things that I would suggest. So for example here.
He's an angel.
He's an angel. Putting a halo on it is a little bit too on the nose. And it doesn't, like, we barely had time to see anything. So maybe it could be just like the dad could be I don't know. Like instead of putting a halo on it, it could be we see the hands and maybe I don't know, they put a cute bow tie or the kid has a shirt or something. And they're like, he's an angel, and we just see like the hands here, like adjusting something, or like he's an angel and he touches the cheeks, and we see the baby like super cute. Oh, I'm so nice. And right at the very end of that shot, which I would extend it a little bit more.
Angel is just
like maybe in this part, I would still be on this shot until like frame 43, and at the very end of like maybe he's doing this and the baby is like ah, and the baby bites the hand at the very end of that shot, so that we start seeing it. Because what I would recommend is like doing a progression of each time the baby gets more chaotic and it's more crazy. But at the beginning, I would definitely try to have
he's an angel.
Like a still camera. Don't pan it. Don't like just let us understand what's happening, because he starts talking very soon, very quickly at the beginning, and it took me a while to understand what was happening. Like my brain was trying to be like, okay, wait, this is what's happening, and the halo and everything. It was like a little bit, maybe again, too on the nose. So if you can show something without saying it, without well, like you sorry, like yeah, without saying it, like visually, it tends to be better.
He's just happy all the time.
Here, like this is what I mean, that when the baby, like I'm guessing they are doing or it, I don't know if this is just the baby moving or if it's a transition, but I would do that after, so that again it gets progressively more chaotic. So maybe here it could just be a simple cut into this shot without needing to do anything else, and you could even again switch the character so that we don't have to go from the baby is here to the baby is here, but the action would be the same.
Happy all the time. Morning.
And then when you got into morning, this is perfect.
Morning, afternoon.
Afternoon, you get this perfect.
Middle of the night.
And when he says middle of the night, I would add another one here. Maybe if you want to add this swirly thing, something can happen here where he says middle of the night.
2 a.m., 3 a.m.
Like, just because it feels like a lot of things happened at the very beginning. It was like a lot of chaos, and suddenly we rest.
2 a.m., 3 a.m., all the a.m.s, really.
It could be even that he is here, but we see chaos happening here. So if you want the thing of the baby like doing things and maybe jumping on top of things, I don't know, a couch or the TV or whatever, we see him, all of them, he's like 2 a.m., blah, blah, 3 a.m., 4 a.m., and the baby's doing crazy things there, then that could work. But again, I would go from less to more. So even you could even put morning could be this one, and then this one could be afternoon, just because in the sense of this feels more crazy than this. This feels more natural in terms of what a baby would do. This is like, okay, that baby is crazy.
2 a.m., 3 a.m., all the a.m.s, really. He's an angel.
And the ending, I like it. I think it would be really, like, this could be really fun.
All the a.m.s, really. All the a.m.s, really. He's an angel. He's just happy all the time. Morning, afternoon, middle of the night, 2 a.m.
And even, I would say that maybe middle of the night, for me, that would be a different shot where something else happens. And then when he starts saying the AMs, that's when you switch to him. Kind of like, or it could be even the same camera if you want to do crazy camera moves. It could be like kind of Modern Family style, where it's like a handheld camera that looks at maybe the baby is doing something and is doing something crazy, and then it pans to the parent and it just focuses on him, but we still see the baby doing the crazy things. We just don't see him at the beginning. Like at the beginning, the shot would just show the baby doing whatever, and then it pans to the dad is here, and we still see the baby doing things here, but maybe it's even out of focus. That could be something that you could also try. Again, I'm not saying like, I think your idea is good. It's just the pacing of it feels a little bit too rushed right now. And I'm trying to think, okay, how can we make it a little bit less chaotic at the beginning and more chaotic as it goes? Did that make any sense? Was that helpful? Do you have any questions? Cool. Awesome. I think this could be like super fun idea. So I'm definitely interested in seeing how this one pans out. And let me see the other one.
I have been trying to put
So
I have been trying to put my grandma in a nursing home for years now, and she just won't go. So I've started gaslighting her.
oh, okay. It took me a while to understand what it was again. Because there is no set and I had to read it, I wasn't
I
sure.
have been trying to put my
Okay,
grandma in
let
a
me
nursing
read it
home
again.
for years now, and she just won't go. So I've started gaslighting her.
It's an interesting take on it. I'm just wondering.
Years
Yeah. No, I get it. It just took me. It took me a while to understand the idea, and that's the only thing that worries me, that other people might have the same reaction. And when recruiters see your shots, they only see them once, so like they have to be very focused on her saying gaslighting, just that one word. But it's like, I'm maybe the way that I would try to think of it with the acting, like I would, like, you can keep the staging the same, the idea the same, but it's like, because she says,
go. So I've started gaslighting her.
first there's like a very big noise that you need to address. Either you take it out or you do something with it, because there's something very important happening that is a very loud noise. So if you can't take it out, you need to use it for something. But she says, so he started gaslighting her, and then she starts walking towards the room. Why? So maybe when she says, I started gaslighting her, maybe she's prepping something to do that. I don't know what it could be, because I'm not sure what best idea it could be. Like, maybe, I don't know. Um, she has a fake apple, and she's painting it, like finishing painting it, as she's going to, because she's a very mean person, going to give it, the fake apple, to her grandmother, and then that's why she has a reason to go into the room. Because I think, like, the idea could work, but we need a little bit more of the setup to understand that she's going to gaslight her before she says it, so that we already are like, oh, okay, so she's going to do this, so that when the other thing happens, we're like, ah, haha, she did it to you. So again, if she's like, I don't know, like the beginning, she's just talking and painting, and is not even addressing whoever she's talking to. She's just painting, and as soon as she finishes, she throws the brush away and starts to get into the room, and that's why she gets, because she's going to give it to her. Then that would make sense. I'm not saying this idea is what I said about the apple is a good idea. I'm just showing an example of something that should, like, something should happen in the acting while she's doing this, that instead of just her talking, she has to be doing something to show us that she's going to gaslight her, because if not, she's just talking. It's a shot of someone standing and talking. But if she has some extra business, that tells us, like, shows us her intentions and what she's actually planning, then we are in on the joke. And when it ends, it's even funnier. So I would try to maybe think about that, about what she could be doing all of here, in all of this area, just so that, again, everything ties together. Did that make sense? Do you have any questions? And if not, if anyone has any links they want me to look at, cool, awesome. Links should be allowed now. I'm not sure because I know I can post them all the time because of I'm also a moderator on my personal account, so I never have that problem. But they should work now. So if anyone wants me to look at any links, feel free. If anyone has any questions about animation, about life, about, like I always say, like if you're crying all the time because animation is super hard, we can also talk about that. Um, yeah, for sure. I'll be very interested to see what you're going for. It would be really cool. Um, I think you have really fun ideas. It's just tightening up a little bit so that everything reads super, super clearly. But yeah, if not, we can call this a very short stream and we can see each other maybe Saturday, maybe next week. Depends on if my setup allows something on Saturday. But if not, also feel free to come tomorrow, 1 p.m. PST, to Madison's feedback sessions. She's amazing and she always gives great feedback. So yeah. Context and subtext, yeah, for sure. That's a great topic. This is something that I'm pretty sure Madison, Era, and Catherine are going to talk a lot on the stream that we're going to have in a couple of weeks. But I can give you my take on it. And I think I can also give you some links that are pretty useful. So let me find them while I speak of it. So, in terms of subtext, subtext is basically what the character is actually thinking. What is the character actually saying? So for example, let's say there's this character and they say a phrase, I don't know, like, "Oh, I'm so happy to be here." The words, the literal words say this character is happy to be in this place. But the way we say it will express our actual emotion. The subtext is basically what's the underlying feeling and emotion that the character is not saying, but they are implying. So, for example, I'm really happy to be here. If I had a horrible day and I have to be at work and do a presentation, be like, yeah, I'm really happy to be here. And I said the exact same thing, but on the inside, I'm actually like, I I really don't want to be here. I don't want to be in this place right now. Or if the character um is very scared, I don't know, they've just run into, I don't know, scary people. I don't know. I'm just throwing out dumb ideas. Right? I'm really happy to be here. Yeah. Like that type of change in the posture, or if like the character is actually happy, like, I'm really happy to be here. Or even like you can be happy, let's say you just met with your friends that you haven't seen in a year. Like, I'm really happy to be here. You're super happy. Or you can be happy because um I'm trying to think of another reason. Like, oh, you've just started your first job. Like, I'm really happy to be here. And you could even say with the same tone, but each emotion will have different things. So, for example, if I haven't seen my friends in a year, the I'm really happy to be here will be, I've missed you guys so much. Whereas if the I'm really happy to be here is because I first started my first job in the industry. I'm like, oh, I can't believe I'm finally here and I finally have a job. So that is subtext. What is the character actually saying with the words that they are saying? I can be saying one thing and feeling completely different, and my subtext will be different. So sometimes when you shoot reference, if you have an audio shot, what you can do is for each sentence that the character is saying, you can have a different subtext. And I'm going to show you something that I did for my class 4 shot. But first, I want to send you guys some links on subtext that are really nice. So this link here, I think, yeah. This first link is from a guy from Pixar. He does a really, really good breakdown of how to think about subtext with one of the, I think it was like a line from Toy Story. So it's a really good way of showing what the character is actually feeling. And sometimes the subtext will actually be what the character is actually saying. So usually if a character is angry, when characters are angry, they tend to have their emotions and their thoughts closer together and intertwined. So the subtext tends to be the same. Like if, especially if someone is shouting, the subtext tends to be exactly the phrase that they're saying. Usually when you're not as, like, basically what's the phrase for this? When you're not in the heat of the moment, that's when you can think a little bit more about what you're saying. And basically, what you're doing is paraphrasing what you're feeling, and what you're actually thinking, you're translating it into something else to say it to another person for whatever reason. And that's something that you also need to think about. Why are they using that specific subtext? Is it that they don't want the other person to really know what they are saying? Is it because they're being nice and they don't want to hurt someone? All of that is also going to inform your acting. So let me show you guys something that I did. And again, I'm not showing this to say, look at me, what I did was amazing, because I'm just showing something that I did when I was studying. I would probably do it different now. This was my first take at acting, but it taught me a lot about subtext and how to approach it. So if you see here, this is for, if you guys have seen, one of my shots is a bank robber. I'm going to play it so that you guys see what the final shot is, and then we can talk about the subtext. Okay, oops, the audio is very, very low. There we go.
Okay, well, I'm off. A man I can't name is flying me to a place I can't tell you about. It's Paris! Wow, I gave that up easy.
So this is the shot. That's what I ended up doing after I analyzed everything. But when I first started it, I had two possible ideas with two different subtexts. They were not completely different, but they were kind of along the same lines. So, for example, what I did was I grabbed each sentence and I thought, what is she actually thinking in that moment? And what is she actually feeling? So that's what I need to analyze when I think about the subtext. So, for example, in the first, okay, well, I'm off, I had two options here. One is, I want you to know I'm leaving. Like, I'm gonna be loud. I'm like, okay, guys, I'm leaving now. Bye. It's like she's technically saying the same thing, but the way she's saying is it's not she's just saying, okay, I'm leaving. It's she's saying, I want you to know that I'm leaving. Whereas the alternative option, which is the one that I didn't end up doing, but I had to present two options for each audio, was, okay, my job here is done. Bye. They are two different things, because one, my intention is, I want you to know that I'm leaving. And in the other one is, I'm done here. Bye. Two different emotions, two different types of subtext. Then on the other one, it says, a man I can't name is flying me to a place I can't tell you about. The one that I ended up choosing, and this is something that I use also when I was shooting my reference, instead of saying the actual phrase, I would shoot reference saying the subtext. And what that did is, like, I ended up shooting so many times that by the end I could basically replicate my acting with the actual sentence. But if I did it with the subtext, it helped me bring a more what's the word? true and honest performance, so to speak. I'm not a good actress, but I try. So if I say the subtext instead of the actual phrase, it allows me to bring the actual emotions and the actual feelings of the character. So for the first option, which is the one that I ended up doing, I said, I can't say who or where, but I want to boast about it. Like, I want to I'm having like the best moment of my life. This is going to be great. But I can't say. I can't say who or where. It's a little bit of I want you to be jealous of me. But yeah, specific acting. It's like I want you to be jealous of me, but I can't tell you anything. I want you to be interested about what I'm gonna do, but I'm not gonna say anything. Whereas the other option was I really want to tell someone, but I promise not to. So it's different because suddenly it's like, I'm dying to tell you guys. I really want to tell you, but I made a promise and I can't. So the a man I can't name is flying me to a place I can't tell you about will have two completely different meanings and feelings depending on the subtext. And then the it's Paris in one option, the one that I did was I'm so excited. So like when I did that gesture, I was like, I'm so excited instead of it's Paris. Whereas in the other one, like the it's Paris, it was like, oh, I finally told someone. I'm so happy. So it would have been a different acting. It would have been like, it's Paris. See, completely different. And it literally the phrase is two words. It's well, kind of. It's Paris. One has the subtext of I finally told someone I'm so happy. And the other one is I'm so excited. Yes. And then wow, I gave that up easy. The option that I went to is like, oh, damn it. I wasn't supposed to say it. I'm so annoyed. Why did I say it? And the other one was she was disappointed and sad that she actually said it. So it could like the subtext could be, "Oh man, I screwed up. Shouldn't have said that." Whereas the first one, it could have been like, "Oh man, I suck. I wasn't. No, not I wasn't, but I didn't want to say it." So that's what if the subtext would actually be like. Here I wrote more the feeling because I think I was also in a hurry. I was like, I can't think of this anymore. I was like, this works for me for what I need. The subtext plays there, but the subtext, you can just write the actual sentence that would replace that sentence with the actual thing that she's thinking or the character is thinking. But what that helps a lot is thinking also about the ideas, because if with this already tells me what type of story I can make out of this idea. Like I'm not sure um this alternative would have worked with the bank robber, because I really want to tell someone but I promise not to. Why would she care that she promised not to if she's robbing a bank? Like her morals are not exactly very aligned, and it doesn't fit with the personality that I thought of for someone who's robbing a bank. They need to be a little bit more um like extroverted and proud. So I don't think this all of that guilt and disappointment would fit with that. And that's why thinking about the subtext helps a lot to think about ideas and your character. And this is just one part of what you need to plan when you think about this. Like in terms of context, like here I wrote kind of the context, but basically the context is all of the rest. So by all of the rest, I mean, who is this character? How old are they? What do they do for a living? Are they a student? Are they working? What is if they're working? What are they? What's their profession? If they're studying, what are they studying? What are their hobbies? What do they like? What do they hate? Um, maybe think about 3 personality traits. What else did I put here? Also, think about were they before the shot and where are they going to be after the shot, because that's also something that's going to happen when you get a job. You're going to get, if you're lucky, a sequence of shots, 3-4 shots, one after the other, but sometimes you're going to get some shots and before there's going to be other shots and after there's going to be others. So you need to know literally where your characters were before your shot and where they're going to be so that everything connects. So if you start already thinking about those things before you do your shots, your personal shots, they're going to feel much, much better because you're already thinking that the story doesn't start and end with just your shot. They are characters that are living and they have their own stories and their own full lives outside of the scope of your shot. You also need to think about what's the goal of the shot and what's the goal of the character. That also lets you know a lot about what to do with the shot. Here again, as you can see, if you read all of this, when I wrote it, I wasn't doing my best job. Like, goal to rob this bank. Like, I could have been like, the goal is to get some money so that she could have the best holidays ever in Paris. That's her goal. Her goal is not to rob the bank. But I was very young and naive, and back then I was like, that's the goal. So now that I see it with perspective and a bit more of experience, even if it's not that much, I can see that this was a very on the nose context to my shot. But we learn from this, we see our mistakes. Yeah, exactly. It's very important also for body mechanics. It basically, like, the thing is that when we're studying, we see body mechanics and acting as two completely different things. It's all animation. In if you're when you're working, you're gonna have shots that are body mechanics, but they're still part of the story. They're still part of uh what needs, like, you need to think about everything, who the character is, where they're coming from, where are they going, because all of that will be connected. So this applies to everything, not just like subtext in terms of acting is easier when you have dialogue, but you can have subtext even if the character isn't saying anything because subtext is always with us. Like, it's not the same. I don't know. I don't have anything to do any, but I don't know. Let's say it's not the same if I have this cup and my shot is just the character drinking, but it's not the same like if the character is drinking and they're going like super slow, like, and maybe they're just enjoying the day and they're like, this is my one time when I can just relax. Whereas the other subtext could be, I don't have time for this, I need to get back to work, and that's it, done. So subtext is with us all the time. It's basically what is the character actually going through. I hope that made sense. That's how I understand subtext. If anyone has any things to add to it, feel free, because this is what I was taught and how I learned it, but I'm sure there are more views and ways to expand on this. Yeah, one of the links, the YouTube link is one of the ones that I already shared, but thanks. Yeah, if you go to that link, sometimes it takes a little bit of time to load because my server is from Argentina. I need to change it to a better one, but I have like a 3-year contract, so later. Yeah, no problem. I'm glad that makes some sense. Like, again, this is what I showed here. This doesn't mean that this is the correct way to do it. This is what I did back then, and even now when I see it, I can see how to improve it, how to make it better. Like, what things that I would change. I would change the goal. I would change how I did the subtext and actually write the sentences. All of that, you will continue to improve on. The more you think about it, the more you actually give yourself time to actually plan your shot. But yeah, if you go to this website, I created it. I still have a lot of links to put in here. Maybe that can be what I do this weekend because I'm going to be pet sitting a cat of one of my friends. So I won't have much to do except staying in the house. So I might just keep populating this website. But basically here it's like a bunch of links that I've gathered through the years, and I check every single link that I put here is not just a random link. They are links that I actually watched completely. So if I have a 2-hour video, I actually watch it. And what I do is I organize it into these categories, and then I also organize it by tags. So I don't know, you are a big fan of James Baxter, you can just click here and it will take you to the James Baxter tag, and you can see all of the things that I uploaded. There are videos, there are downloads. For example, there are links to buy books as well if you need them. And for some reason, this is not properly. I need to go and check why this is not looking as it should. Good thing I checked. Yeah, no, it's the one that AJ sent, but I can put it here so that you have the clean link. Again, it's not super fast because of the server. The server that I have is in Argentina, and so sometimes to get a little bit technical, every time that you access a website, it's like you are requesting information, and that request has a certain time. And because the server is so far away, it takes a lot of time. It takes like 200 milliseconds sometimes to get it. And that's why the first time you load the website, it might be a little bit slow, but then it works completely fine. If you want to send me links, you can set it to make a suggestion and just send me your like name, email, and the link. You don't need to set it into like sort it into categories. Just send me the link, and that's it. I will add it to basically. I have how many? 315 websites to go through and upload here. I think I uploaded already 200. And if there's a link that doesn't work, please let me know so that I can fix it, because sometimes websites stop working. You can also search whatever you want. Like when I wanted to show you guys my things on Subtext, I literally went to my website, I typed Subtext, and I share the links that I got here because I'm too lazy to remember where are all the links. I need a place to find them, and I want it to be organized. And for example, I don't know, let's say I want to apply to jobs. Okay, fine, I'll go to job listings, and here are some where you can find and apply for jobs. If you guys want to share this website, feel free. I basically made it for myself and for the community. I'm not uploading it, like I'm not updating it these days just because I haven't had time, but there are already a lot of links. Yeah. Exactly. I was like, because I used to make websites for a living, so I know how to do this. And I was like, I'll, you know that the Thanos quote, fine, I'll do it myself. It kind of feels like that. And my own website actually died on me, and I need to fix it, but I'm so lazy. So if you go now to my website, it doesn't work, but I'll fix it eventually. Eventually, I will fix it. But yeah, feel free to use this however you like. Feel free to send me links. Before you send me a link though, please check that it's not here. Like just literally search it, and if it doesn't appear, then it's all good. But yeah, like for example here, you have a bunch of things on cinematography and composition, and if you look at the icons, each thing is a different category, let's say. So this will be just a text post, this will be a video, and this will be a course that you can either, some are paid, some are not. Like even here, if I click on course, I should have tagged them all as course. Yeah, some of them I did. I used to put if some were free or not, but then I got too lazy. I started doing that with rigs, and then I stopped because some rigs sometimes stop being free. But no, look, I put it for free. Okay, then some of them I kept doing it. Um, I haven't really read any specific books on cinematography, but what I would recommend, I haven't done it myself, but this course, one of my friends, Andrew Curry, he's amazing at camera work. He's been working doing camera work on games for a very long time. But aside from that, when I told him, "Oh, how did you learn?" he said, "Take this course. It's paid and like it seems like a lot, but considering uh it's basically six classes, it's not terrible, and like individual volumes, it's not that much. Like it could be way worse in terms of price. It's not that bad for a course on cinematography. If you think about a workshop, it would be way more expensive. He said this course taught him everything that he knows. So I don't know about books. I think that even for cinematography, things like this could be more useful because yes, you can learn the rules about composition. That's something that you can like even here, like there's a bunch of links on composition and you can learn the rules, but I think knowing how to actually use the cameras is super useful. So definitely feel free to use this however you want. It works on mobile too. It should, because if not, it would make me very sad. So, yeah, does anyone have anything else that they want me to look at or any links? Trying to see if there's any um any other links on Discord now. If not, we can call it a short and cute stream. Or if anyone has any other questions about anything animation or life, like the subtext thing, feel free. Except drawing, I'm not really good at drawing, so that's not something that I'm going to be able to answer. But yeah, if not, I'm gonna let you all go. Remember tomorrow, 1 p.m. PST, feedback session with Maddie, and then maybe Saturday I will post it probably on that same day if I'll be able to do anything. Sure, no problem. So have a great day, everyone, and happy animating. Bye.